And this afternoon, the Professional Standards Bureau of the Ghana Police Service says it is carrying out investigations on some recent developments within the service. A video has been going viral, what you see on your screens now, indicating, and of course some allegations have also been made of extortion by some of the policemen that you see in your shot there at Azim in the western region. The video footage on your screens right now is believed to be recorded last month and has been making rounds on social media, depicting 4 alleged illegal miners supposedly attacking police officers who were on patrol in the area. The suspects are currently on remand while police pursue one more person who's known as Kwamina Ato-Asari, who is also denying the claims. Well, the accused person says he was only doing his job by playing a role as an informant to the Ghana Police Service. The video is beginning to cause a lot of disaffection and also bringing back the conversation around the fight against illegal mining. First off, let's hear from Superintendent Tubu Peter Lonchene, who's MP for Wild West. He's also a member of the Interior and Defense Committee. But just before we hear from him, he will be joining us via phone shortly, let's take a look at what the police service knows so far about this case. So here are the facts from the Ghana Police Service, indicating that on the 9th of March 2023, the Azim Divisional Police Patrol Team reported an attack on the team by a gang that seized a magazine of a service rifle together with some mobile phones belonging to the police officers. Now, point 2 is indicating that an intelligence operation was immediately launched after the report to get suspects arrested. And of course, some 3 or 5 days ago, after about 3 weeks of intelligence operation, 4 men, we have Josiah, alias Mose, Emmanuel Mensah, alias Kofi Asamoah, and also Maxwell Kujo and Ejebu Haruna were all arrested for their suspected involvement in this very attack that you see on your screens right now. A search, as we understand, conducted at the residence of Kwamina Ato-Asari Eni, who's the prime suspect now, who's still on the run, led to the retrieval of some 3 pump-action shotguns, also 1 pump-action gun, 2 machetes, 88 rifle cartridges were also retrieved from the suspects and registered Honda CRV, whilst other items were also retrieved from the suspect, including some 2 live rifles, BB cartridges, and also 1 unregistered motorbike. But on the 1st of April 2023, while investigations were ongoing to get the remaining suspects arrested, the attention of the police was drawn to a video footage in which the said police personnel, members of the Azim patrol team, are shown pleading with the members of the gang while the gang is alleging extortion by the police officers. The allegation of this extortion is being dealt with against the officers, and the issue has been referred to the Police Professional Standards Bureau for investigations. For now, all the suspects involved in the reported attack of the patrol team who have been arrested have been put before court and have been remanded in custody. So efforts are definitely continuing to get the remaining suspects arrested. And this is the official position that we're getting from the Ghana Police Service on this very story. Let's speak to, of course, Peter Lonchene Tubu, who's MP for Wild West, that serves as a member of the Interior and Defense Committee in Parliament. We'll also be hearing from Emmanuel Yurichi, who is former Director of Operations for the Small Scale Miners Association. But first, Supo, let's hear from you. This is something like we've not seen in recent times. You agree that for a man to be in uniform and to be treated that way, it first of all brings the professionalism of the police service in its entirety into question. What's your reaction to what we've seen, the footages? At least we know that the police service is investigating the matter, but as a former service person, what's your reaction to this?
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon to our cherished viewers and listeners. It is another beautiful day, and then with matters of security, when they come up, we need to speak to them as they are and try to see if we can reposition this country in a better perspective to remain secure and stable. What happened and what is happening vis-a-vis the video that we've all viewed is just a tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg in the sense that there are several things in this country that worries many of us. But until they come out, we try to sweep them under the carpet. When we talk about police professionalism as a requirement for strong democracies, we don't just say it. We say it from our heart and we mean it. What happened in that video, if you see it, the police officer, I would say, was a very smart person. There is no way that unprofessionalism can command respect. No. There is no way that unprofessionalism will give you the dignity that you desire and deserve as a police officer. No. And there is no way that unprofessionalism will give you that power. It is professionalism to give the police officers that authority that he wills. When you see somebody in uniform, the uniform is symbolic of who you are, the job you do. But your attitude in the uniform confirms your professionalism. So it's actually the training that makes the officer and not the uniform. So irrespective of which uniform you are wearing, when you begin to act out your skills, people will either respect you or disrespect you. What happened in that video, as we all watched, the police officer was smart enough to begin to plead. You know, you have the AK-47. You have the uniform on you. The Constitution of Ghana backs you. But what you are doing is unlawful. What you are doing, if it is perceived to be illegal, every power that is backing you, the power ceases, and you become a naked person. In fact, unprofessionalism strips security officers naked. It is the professional that gives the power. So what we saw is just to tell us that, listen, when the service is growing from thousands to 2,000 to 20,000 to 30,000 to 40,000 and beyond, don't expect that everybody will be an angel. And I think it is in the wisdom of this that the police service created the Professional Standards Bureau.
Right, and this is what's more striking about the whole incident. What we see on the screens right now: a police officer kneeling down in front of a civilian. That's shocking, isn't it?
It is not strange. The police officer realized that I have messed up myself professionally. I have gotten into danger. And the best thing to do is to appeal to the conscience of these people who appear so reckless and they don't care. If I am killed, I think that people begin to ask questions and I will not be there to answer them. So what I have to do, first of all, is survival principle. What do I do to survive? If kneeling down will give me life, please go ahead and kneel down. Don't play a hero and be killed. Because it is a training that makes the officer. So that training will tell you, irrespective of the fact that you carry a weapon, an AK-47, at this material moment, looking at the dangers around and who I am and the capacities around to be able to save myself, the best thing to do is to appeal to the conscience of these people who look so reckless. And what he did, and I've said this, if you go before the Professional Standards Bureau and you are even dismissed, at least you have life. If you play a hero amongst them, knowing that probably you have acted unprofessionally, you'll be killed for nothing. I think that was a smart move.
You've been in the service before. What do you suspect may happen if this case is referred to PIPS?
Yes, what I expect to happen, they have to prove extortion, which is grievous, and the punishment, as long as it's referred for a service inquiry, there are 3 levels of punishment. You are either dismissed at the end of the day, you are removed from the service, or you are reduced in rank. Whichever one comes, it is a heavy penalty. But I think that the Professional Standards Bureau will do a good job to ensure that they will continue to do the best that they can to clean the image of the Ghana Police Service. Every organization has a disciplinary department, and the PSB is in charge of discipline. So when it shows up that there is some level of unprofessionalism somewhere, some indiscipline somewhere, they step in there to bring things right. And I believe that they will do the best that they can.
And in this case, should we just be focused on the policeman involved here, or perhaps the whole line of command should be investigated?
It is during the investigation that the officers who were seen in the video will tell us, were you deployed on duty officially? Did you go there on your own without approval from command? If you actually went there on the official duty, what was the guidelines? What was the purpose? What duty was it? Were you acting within the rules and regulations, or you are acting outside the rules and regulations as given to you by your commander? Because the system is centralized, command and control. So if you are under command and control, if you act within command and control, your commander will be responsible for taking care of you and ensuring that you are not punished. If you act within command and control and you are deemed to have acted outside, they will question your commander. But whatever it is, they will have to start with the men who were at the beat at the moment. And whatever happened, it is a story that they will tell that will let them expand the investigation or restrict the investigation to some number of officers. But until then, let it start. We'll follow it up and see how it ends.
And again, for many, this is adding up to that widely held perception that the police service has sunk to its lowest. Do you feel this is one of the incidents that may add on?
Thank you very much. The image of the service sinking low is the public perception. Public perception because social media has come, and many of these negatives, when they emerge on social media, they bend across the population very fast. Unfortunately for the Ghana Police Service, when they do good things, they fail to sell their own message. They fail to write for themselves. They fail to speak for themselves. And on many occasions, the media is not interested in the good story. They are interested in the story that burn and sell. And many of the stories that burn and sell are the bad stories. And that is why you can do 99% of the things very right. The 1% that is bad is what people are interested in. So I'm not surprised. But you know what? That is the Ghana Police Service. All of us have a responsibility to ensure that it remains professional and continue to become professional, because it is a professional police organization that will enhance our democracy for us to continue to enjoy the freedoms guaranteed under the 1992 Constitution. Until then, we have a police service that requires continued support.
You are in a better position to make recommendations now. How can the police service redeem its image?
Redemption of an image of an organization like the Ghana Police Service has several steps to take. But I think that what is important is who causes the image problems? The officer in uniform. So let's begin to look at how do we recruit people into the uniform service. The biggest challenge is not actually a police challenge. It's a national challenge because many people in uniform now do not want to even wear the uniform, but because there's no job. So you want a salary. So as long as it is the police that can get you salary, you go in there and wear the uniform and earn a salary. But your heart is not with the police. So your passion is not police related. Your talent is not police related. Your skills are not police related. The only thing that is police related is your brain to make money. So you wear the uniform to make money and get salary at the end of the month, and that is it. So when you have all these kind of characters wearing uniform, they give the command a hell to be able to manage. But that notwithstanding, I will pray that we start with recruitment. And when we move from recruitment, we talk about the curriculum. How do we train men and women in uniform? And let's look at responsible citizenship. On many occasions, we talk about unprofessional policing, but we've never spoken about irresponsible citizenship. Many citizens are also very irresponsible, as much as we talk about unprofessional policing. Sometimes it's just like the cat and mouse game. As you advise the cat, you also advise the mouse. When you talk about bad police officers, talk about very irresponsible citizenry. And collectively, let's begin to use NCCE to let the citizens appreciate the fact that we are responsible citizens and let's behave as such. Let's use the police service to let the police officer understand that I need to be professional to provide service to meet the expectations of the Ghanaian people. Left, right, in the middle, we'll chart a path to make Ghana a better place.
Okay, I want to hear from Emmanuel here in chief, but just before we hear from Emmanuel, Supol, I understand, of course, you're going in for your vetting. So one final question before you go. Briefly address this for me. The illegal mining and its approach towards fighting it from the position of government has always been to use the military in the exercise. How come the police is getting involved? And in your view, should we be allowing the police service to get involved in this?
Thank you very much. The fight against Galamsey has been wrongly analyzed, and the prescription to deal with the Galamsey menace is also absolutely wrong. The Galamsey menace, as much as we believe that it's a threat to national security, is not just a security problem, it's an economic problem. So if we prescribe a security solution to deal with economic problem, we get into a mess. The police, the military, and the security sector of this country can actually give a backing to economic policies that will transform the mining sector. And that is why I believe that this small-scale mining, community mining, as we think about them on paper, if they were actually working right, and the young men have access to community mining and doing the mining professional and making the money, nobody will be interested in risking his own life to do illegal mining and die. So the state must stand on its feet to ensure that the young men and women have the right to mine, get the money that they want without risking the environment. The young men and women can be protected to mine for the state to enjoy the benefit of the mine, and the young men can also benefit. But if we allow it to go like this, and they have to survive at all costs, survival of the fittest. Listen, going to Galamsey every day is like committing suicide. You are prepared to commit suicide because you can go down there, you never come back. So these people, listen, they don't fear death. They don't fear guns. They see absolutely nothing. All they want is money to make a living. So unless we find a way as a nation to structure the system to ensure that the young men can actually get the money without risking our environment, we have a long way to go. It is not just a security problem, it is an economic problem as well. Why the police? Of course, internal security is a police matter.
All right.
We brought in the military. We'll talk about when we came into 2017, they brought the military, they brought the police, they put them together. It became a mess. Found out the military was withdrawn and left with the police. But the issue is that it is not purely a security matter. It's an economic matter. It's a problem. So let's find the economic solution, and security will be just a top dressing.
All right then. We'll have to make way because you have a vetting. A long day indeed. We'll see how that will pan out in the Wild West constituency. Thank you, Honourable, for joining us. Let's speak now to, of course, Emmanuel Yerinchi, former Director of Operations for the Small Scale Miners Association. Thank you, sir, for your time here on The Pulse. So you've seen the video footages. What does it tell you about this whole fight against illegal mining?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you, your cherished viewers. I just want to clarify this, that the people we see in the video, there's no way a licensed small-scale miner will act the way they are acting. Irrespective of whatever concerns they may have, licensed small-scale miners will not act the way they are acting. So I want to put that one clearly. Now, the fight against illegal mining, as it has been expressed by my colleague panelists, basically it's not entirely a security thing, but rather economic and social thing, right? And therefore, hopefully, I'm looking at any government intervention to fight illegal mining. Government should include somehow how economically and socially, apart from the security aspect, this can be fought. So therefore, as we have always been saying, that in fighting illegal mining, you need to bring in all stakeholders, i.e. the small-scale miners, the community leaders, the district chief, the district assemblies, municipal assemblies, and then social and corporate social responsibilities and other social workers within particular encatchment, so that we can be able to work our way out such that all other issues can be addressed, right, from the economic point of view, from the social point of view, and then also from the security point of view.
But then, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but then I was just talking about this video, the video that we see now. I'm sure this has been making rounds on your platform. What information independently are you picking up as small-scale miners as to whether or not possibly they could be your members as well?
No, so like I'm saying, this is not the members of the Small-Scale Miners Association of Ghana, and these guys obviously are not licensed small-scale miners, because no licensed small-scale miner will act this way, irrespective of their concerns. So these are not members of the licensed small-scale miners, not at all. These are purely legal miners.
Are you certain about that? Because there are some reports going around.
I'm certain about that.
Yeah, yes,
no,
but you agree that there are some reports going around that these individuals may belong to your group?
No, not at all. They are not. They are not. Not at all. They are not.
And
these are purely illegal miners. And the association is not part of illegal mining group, no. The association is made up of licensed small-scale miners. All members of the association are licensed to operate as a mine.
What does this suggest to you about this whole fight, the entire fight against illegal mining, and how government should be approaching that now?
All right. I mean, so basically, like I was saying, then like my senior colleague also mentioned, basically, government ought to look at this fight from different perspectives, from the security perspective, from social perspective, and from economic perspective. That's where when we look at it from all these perspectives, and I also involving the various actors or stakeholders in the mining supply chain, then we are able to tackle this as we should tackle it. for instance, when you pick a community and you want to really root out illegal mining in there, first of all, you involve the police in there, and then you also involve the district assembly or the municipal assembly. You also involve the traditional leaders, and then also involve the association of small-scale miners in there. If there are any NGOs in there, you involve them as well, so that they work hand in hand. That way, we can deal with this issue head-on and then root it out. But if we leave it in the hands of the security agencies, obviously they will attack the security aspect of it, leaving the economic and the social aspect of it, which most of the time that results in the failure of the whole entire operation.
Anyway, so going forward, what's the demand from your group? Of course, you are the immediate past director of operations. At the national level, what's being considered and what can you say is that position by the Ghana National Association of Small Miners?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I'm no longer an active executive, but when I was at post, one of the issues that we were pushing for, first of all, was in line with government policy with respect to the fight against illegal mining. Our government should be able to involve the full stakeholder group of mining, and so that if, for instance, government wants to come out with any policy or any intervention to fight against illegal mining, all stakeholders, first of all, should be abreast with what government wants to do, and then also personally, they should be involved in the various aspects of it. When this is done, just imagine that there's an illegal fight against illegal mining activity going on in a community, and then the stakeholders such as the traditional leaders are involved, the Association of Small-Scale Miners are involved, the municipal assembly is involved, and other NGOs are involved, and they deal with this head-on. Imagine the impact that it will have on such intervention. So it's very important that government involve all stakeholders in the fight against illegal mining. That way, I believe we can get to the bottom of this.
Okay, then. We'll leave it here for now. Emmanuel Urinchi, thank you for joining us here on The Pulse.